So good evening, you beautiful people. You know what? I see every time I put that intro up on these live broadcasts and it says Periscope. Periscope was Twitter's sort of first foray into live video. And I don't even know if they still call it Periscope. I might have to change the intro. It's been the same for like 5 years, something like that. But I don't even know if Periscope's even a thing anymore. I think it's clearly just going to be like Twitter Live or something. I've just noticed that, so I'll probably change that up in the next couple of weeks. But good evening, everybody. If you're watching on the replay or you're listening on the Acts on This TV audio experience, huge shout out. Thank you so much for being here. It's currently 4 minutes past 9 on the 3rd of July for those people who are here live. We were just saying before we went live. It's already over halfway through 2023, and I was saying if your acting career hasn't really taken the shape you wanted it to take, you know, when you planned what you were going to do back in January 2023, and you're like, well, halfway through the year yet, don't worry about it. You're literally just at half-time. You know, how many football teams make a comeback 4-0 down at half-time and they end up winning 5-4? That's going to be you in your career. So yeah, let's stay optimistic. Get involved in everything that I'm going to be talking about tonight, and I promise you we're going to, we're going to make the second half of 2023 even better. Even if the first half's been great, even better than the first half, definitely. So those people who are here live, let me just give you a little shout out before we dive into tonight's topic. So Faye, good evening. George is in the house. Rachel, how you doing? Katora, great to see you here. Kit, great to see you here. Nat says she's starting with purpose. Schedule an email to Debbie Howard. Oh, I'm going to be covering Debbie Howard's session tonight. Nat, if you're not a member of actsonthis.tv and you're watching this or listening, every week I sit down with the biggest names in the industry, the biggest names in TV, basically, casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers. And we had Emmerdale and Coronation Street director Debbie Howard on last week. Nat, I already know a lot of members of actsonthis.tv because Debbie gave her email out on that broadcast and was like, listen, please send me your show reel. She really sort of like champions actors. She's looking for new talent. She loves giving actors their first TV job. I know quite a lot of people who've already emailed Nat who have already had replies back. So if you've not seen that session, I'm going to play some of it out tonight, folks, for those people who might be new. And the full 2-hour replay is in the members area. Please watch it this week. If you just watch, literally, I'm giving it you on a plate. If you just watch these sessions each week, act on this by emailing the people with the email addresses they give you and how they tell you to email, you're going to make so many more connections in your acting career. And, you know, I guarantee you people will land auditions off, well, I know they do because I get emails from hundreds of you, you know, off this outreach, you know, that we cover in these sessions. So, Natalie, do it. Katora's had a good start to the week. Joined Gravy for the Brain. That's a great voiceover training company. Nice one, Katora. I'm a big fan of Gravy for the Brain. Did you use your discount code, Katora? Hopefully you did. If you're a member of actsonthis.tv, you get 25% off your membership at Gravy for the Brain. If you don't know where that is, folks, I'll just very quickly go over to the website. This is actsonthis.tv, the website I've ran for the last 13 years. But Katora, if you click into the members area and go into your premium membership at the very, very bottom, I can't bring it up completely because it'll give the discount code away, but there's a little section there saying save on voiceover training with Gravy for the Brain. There's a discount code there and an exclusive link. If you click on it and put the discount code in, I think it's a tenner a month you'll save on your membership as just a thank you for being part of Acts on This. So yeah, make sure you got at least the same deal that you can get there if you've got a different deal somewhere else. Kerry, how you doing? So still got a broken foot over here, so using the time to watch videos on the website. Nice one, Kerry. Well, I'm wishing your broken foot heals fast. Frankie, good evening. Matthew, how you doing? Great to see you here. Gay, how are you? Josh is in the house. Alex is here. Georgie's had a no from a job on Friday, but the casting director emailed my agent today saying they're a big fan of my work, so he'll be keeping me in mind for roles in the same project. That's happened so many times to me, Georgie. I've not got the role that I went for, and I've ended up with... That's happened twice this year. I've been given a different role in the same production. That happened in Netflix's new Fool Me Once. I was kind of offered a part, couldn't do it. I didn't quite match because there was a stunt double involved in it. And they didn't give me that. But then literally the final hour, last week I shot this, they wrote a new scene into episode 1 to tie up a little plot hole, and they gave me the part that tied up the plot hole. So that was really cool. I can't give too much of it away, but Joanna Lumley is in Fool Me Once. It's called for Netflix. Harlan Coben, incredible TV drama, and I play someone who works for Joanna. So Joanna Lumley was my boss last week, which was quite interesting. Josh's audition for a commercial. He said that could pay the rent for the that could pay that could pay for the rest of my wedding. So fingers crossed. Have 2 theatre auditions on Wednesday. Commercials can be big bucks, as well. I know an actress who went down to London today who had a commercial casting for a tea brand. And I think the buyout was around about, I think in total about 6,700. So some good money in commercials, definitely. And Katora did use the discount code. Nice one. Jessica, how you doing? Said email Tracy Gillan today. Tracy cast some of the best shows, some of the best comedies I've ever seen. Jessica, good luck with that. Maya rhymes with fire in the house. How you doing? Stephen Rose, Indra. Vanessa says she's been feeling demotivated, but back to it and going to get those castings. Come on, Vanessa. It's a brand new week. Anything can happen this week. I'm going to read some more shout-outs out in a minute, but let's just get stuck into some content. I will, first of all, do you know what? I'm going to start with the thing that I'm most excited about. Once a year, and there'll be quite a few people here. Josh, I know you've done this. Alex, I think you've done this. There's quite a few people here who have taken a training that I do exclusively just once a year, roughly for 100 actors. Okay, I can only take 100 actors on this program once a year. It's the most it's the most in-depth coaching that I will do because it involves ultimately, it involves pre-recorded content of around 16 hours. More pre-recorded content of around 12 hours. That's like 28 hours. It involves 5 weeks, so another 10 hours of live coaching with me. And then it involves 12 months of support in a exclusive Facebook group away from anything else that we do at Acts on This with me and Petch and everyone else who's been through this program. So it's ultimately, if you want to, get coaching from me for 12 months, I open this program called First TV Role Fast Track Up just once a year. It's for actors who really, I say first TV role, but anyone who's got under 5 credits, I'd say it would be applicable to you. And what it is ultimately is every single thing that I have learned over the last 30 years of being in the acting industry, and everything that I implement in my own career to land work. And I've landed getting on close to 40 TV jobs now in really good stuff, decent parts. No leading roles, gonna be completely transparent, but decent roles in 2 or 3 episodes of big dramas. And I've now taken, I don't know, probably 200 people through this course over the last couple of years. Dozens have got their first TV role through implementing this blueprint. It's a proper commitment, though. I mean, it's like, it is work. You've got to do the work. Like I say, the pre-recorded content on there is close to 30 hours, plus you get a further 10 hours of live coaching from me, plus a year's worth of support. So just make sure you implement all this stuff. It's not something you can implement overnight, but it has led to some incredible results for dozens of actors who have taken this program. And I'm going to open the doors to this program this year on the 29th of July. So that's this month, at the end of this month. It's a Saturday is when the doors open. Strictly, it will be 100 actors again. I can't sort of take on more than 100 actors because I think it will dilute maybe some of the strategies that we coach in this program. But if you are looking for your first TV job, maybe you have been banging your head against a brick wall for the last 3 or 4 years. You think you're doing everything right. Maybe you're a bit confused. Maybe you just can't nail your casting type. The outreach to casting directors you're just struggling with. You can't seem to get your emails right. You don't know how to track all of that. You don't really know whether your show reel and your headshots are congruent. You don't know which casting directors to approach for your first job. If you're just sick and tired of feeling sick and tired and you should be working, this program is something that I want you to get involved with if you have the resources to do so. It is a paid program. I'll be launching pricing details of this later this month, but I am going to do, just for everybody, a 100% free coaching session, regardless of whether you can afford the full program or not. I'm always up for just giving people as much value as I possibly can. And before I open the doors to the main program, I'm going to launch I'm going to host a live coaching session on the morning of the 29th of July. It's going to be about 90 minutes to 2 hours long, and it's going to go through, it's kind of a bird's eye view of the blueprint that I coach in incredible detail in the main program. But even if you jump on this training for free, I promise you, you will get a real clear idea of what you should be doing to land these first few roles. And, you know, maybe you'll realize maybe you're not doing these things, or you could implement them better. But if you want to get involved, I've literally just created the page to sign up for the training now. There's only 500 places on the actual free training as well, because that's all my Zoom account can hold. But if you go to actonthis.tv/training, that's /training, you'll see this page here. Literally just pop your name and email in here, and it will send you your Zoom link now. The Zoom session's already set up. Keep that email safe. Do not lose that Zoom link. Like I say, there's only 500 places on the free training, and then there's only 100 places on the you know, the massive course, if you basically want me to hold your hand for a full 12 months. So just make sure that you're doing everything right. Get yourself over to actonthis.tv/training and just jump on that free training to see what it's all about. So I'm mega excited about that. That's something that I absolutely love. I was just looking in the Facebook group before. I shouldn't really do this, but I'll give you a little. This is the First TV Role Fast Track Facebook group. This is a private group just for people who take the full training. Like I say, you get a minimum of 12 months support in this group. Everyone else who's been in here, though, have had access to it for about 18 months, so it's probably never going to go away. You'll get this for life. But I was having a look. There's the... Oh, by the way, we've done an update to the Ultimate Contacts Database. Anyone who's on this program, you get something called the Ultimate Contacts Database for free. It's literally every single casting director, casting assistant, and casting associate's contact details in the industry, updated almost monthly for you. So it literally saves you 200 hours of research. That's just had a massive update over the last couple of days. But you can see it's a pretty buzzing group here. But I was just scrolling down before, and I love it. Is David, you know, just to show you that this shit works. So is David, new reel with my first TV credit included off the back of some of the helpful hints and tips from Ross. Thanks again to Lee for sourcing a digital copy. So Petch even got him a copy of his first TV role that he got through implementing stuff in this program. There's Nick there. Oh my God. This was only like 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. Just been offered another role in a series. Pretty huge casting office. I'm shaking with joy. I've been reiterating Ross's output, not outcome focus loads lately, and now it's having loads of results. Keep on pushing everyone and keep the faith. Thanks again to Lee and Ross. Then Saffron, just like a week. What was that? Like a week. So that's Nick's second job. He got a job in the start of June. That's his second one on June the 20th. And this was Saffron on June the 9th. Looks like it's catching. I finished the week off with some super duper news. After years of hustling, I finally booked my first TV soap credit. I put everything into practice the last year or so since doing this course. Consistency certainly is the key. I wanted to wait until the contract arrived before posting because I needed to know it was actually real. Keep believing people. People are just basically booking jobs all the time through, you know, implementing the blueprint that we coach in this program. So it's to my knowledge, the only proven like program that covers any of this stuff in the industry. So yeah, actonthis.tv/training if you want to get on that free training. And if you're literally just like, look, I know I want to be one of those 100 people on the program. If you go to actonthis.tv/first, FIRST, you can just get on the waiting list for the actual full program itself. I'll show you what that looks like if I go back here. So training is the free training, and then FIRST is this page here. It says doors open summer 2023. There's a video there for testimonials of people who went through the program and, you know, the TV roles that they've bagged through doing it. So I'm mega excited about that. Let me know your thoughts on that as well if you're here live. Like, is that something that, you know, like, just, I don't know, like, how's the year been for you? Is it something that you think, you know, could be the key for you? Because I know a lot of people, they end up just sort of spinning their wheels sometimes for years, and they're like, I don't know what's wrong, I don't know what's going on, like, you know, and they know they're really good enough to be working, and yet they're just like, they feel they're doing everything, but, you know, nothing's kind of popping for them. So so let me know, yeah, and just jump on that free training. Like I say, actonthis.tv/training. How you doing, Bear? He says, hi guys, love a bit of Ats on this. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. That's awesome to have you in. Georgie says, one of her pal Laurie's in Fool Me once. Nice one. Yeah, it's a wicked drama. I can't wait till it's out. I've had 3 TV jobs in the last 4 weeks, you know. Not bragging, because last year was quieter. But again, the stuff that I coach in this program fucking works, guys. Let's have a look. Evening to Indy, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Sharon, I hope you are good. Thanks for being here. There's loads of comments tonight. Thanks for joining, everybody. Jessica's just signed up. Nice one, Jess. Albany, how you doing? Good to see you. Victoria's just signed up to the 7-day trial. Nice one, Victoria. So yeah, that's another thing as well. If you want to kick the tyres on Acts on this.tv/trial, 7-day trial for £1. If you don't want to carry on, just drop me an email. I'll cancel it for you. Completely transparent and open. Don't sign up to anything where people don't let you try it out before you buy it, particularly in the acting industry, because the industry's full of shit. I'm sick of seeing workshops still advertising, workshops, misleading actors as well with the titles of the guests, calling them casting directors when they're casting assistants or associates. And I'm sick of them saying email us for a place and they put no pricing details on their advert. I'm like, if you are not proud of your product and what you're charging for it, like there's clearly something wrong, isn't there? And all that happens, I promise you, is when you email them for a place, they'll email you back, because I've tested this out, and they say, oh, Victoria, there's only 2 places left. Do you want one? We'll save one for you. Putting pressure on you. There's not. There's like 10 left. They probably haven't sold any yet. But they tell everybody there's 2 places left. And that's why they get you to email first, so they can add that pressure to you. It's bullshit. I hate it. But yeah, any acting class, any workshop, anything that will not let you try before you buy, sack it off, folks. Dodge. Olivia, how you doing? So there's a quick question. Does anyone know what the hiring preferences on Spotlight means? Or it's probably really simple, but I've only just noticed it today. Is it a new update? I've not seen that, Olivia. That sounds like it is a new update. Where's that hiring preferences? I don't know. Let me know, and I'll log into Spotlight if you want, and we'll check it out cumulatively as a group tonight. So I'm proper buzzing about that training. I cannot wait. I'd love to work with you, for that full 12 months if you want to, do first CV role fast track. And longer, to be honest. I'm just, that group's just going to be open until everyone gets their first CV role, to be honest. But you've got to do the work. It's not, it is a blueprint, it is a formula, but it's not a magic recipe in terms of like a push button thing. It requires work. Josh, I still think you hold the title for the fastest student to go from 0 to TV credit. Josh got his role on Emmerdale. You did it in 4 months, Josh, so 16 weeks. Most people, I think the average is roughly 6 or 7 months, and then a lot of people do it at the 12-month mark. So if you want to potentially challenge Josh to the title of fastest fast tracker, get yourself involved. Right, let's recap before I dive into more comments again on last week's Act on This.tv member-only Zoom session. We held it with, I'm just going to go to the members area, this incredible woman here. Bloody love her to bits. Debbie Howard, an incredible Coronation Street and Emmerdale and Doctors director. She was talking all about getting on her casting radar. She gave her email away. She told everyone to email her their show reels. She said exactly what she wants to see on a show reel, what she doesn't, how to nail a self-tape, how to nail your audition. Like just how to work with Debbie on set, get the most out of your performance. It was an incredible session. The amount of tweets I've had about this one has been quite exceptional. And Debbie's just an open book. Like, I would love to work with Debbie. I've worked on Coronation Street and Emmerdale quite a few times, and Doctors. Never worked with Debbie though, but she seems absolutely amazing. I'm going to play a little trailer out of what you missed. The full session obviously is recorded. It's in the members area right now. It's 2 hours long. Do check it out. Get a membership if you want to get access to it, if you've not already. But here's a little bit about what we chatted about. Writer and director, literally directing Coronation Street and Emmerdale right now, is Debbie Howard in the house. Debbie, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Very glad to be here, and thank you everyone for coming along. It's great that there's so many people.
There's a combined 572 episodes a year of Corrie and Emmerdale, which is crazy, which is why the casting ground here is like so fertile. What do you think are the best ways to get on your casting radar, Debbie?
By email, I would say. I mean, obviously you can connect on Twitter and things like that.
Yeah.
You can follow each other and keep an eye on what people are doing. There's a young actress recently who's been in touch with me. She kind of is always recording her own scenes and like kind of like self-tape things, but she does them herself. And honestly, I think she's fantastic. The
process of you introducing those actors to those casting scenes that we mentioned before, like how have the auditions been working on the blocks that you've done so far on these shows?
I work with the casting director. They suggest people, and then I always pretty much always say, oh, there's a few people I'd like to
I want to see.
Yeah.
What do you need to see in a self-tape in order to give the actor the job? Like, what do you want to see?
I might be thinking, honestly, I'd be happy with any of these three. They can all do it. They're all slightly different. They can all do it. But sometimes I might think, but I really want to give it to this person so they get their first telly job.
Everything seems to be cast young.
There are those roles, and it's just about seeking them out, I guess. I guess there's less of them, but I guess there's also less people going for them because
That's right.
because a lot of people give up eventually.
I know that going to drama school isn't so much a requirement maybe anymore, or like there's other options now, but any advice would be highly appreciated.
I think drama school is a lot more useful for theatre than it is for TV and film. Remembering that it's about you suiting a role and not that you didn't do a good audition. You know, I think that's really important to remember.
So yes, the full 2-hour session is in your members area right now. If you're not a member of actonthis.tv, actonthis.tv, get your membership, come join the tribe. I promise you, it'll change for £6.75 a week, guys. It'll change your life. There is nothing better value in this industry than this website. I'm still seeing it. Makes me laugh. I'm still seeing people put out Zoom workshops for 35 quid each. I'm like, I'll give you 7 a month for 27 quid. If you want to save £8 cheaper than what everyone else is charging for one, I'll give you 7 with the biggest names in the industry. So do come and get involved. Bear said I would absolutely love to do it. That's the first TV or fast track course. It says found your site in November and it's been life changing. Nice one, Bear. Well, that means the world. Thanks so much, and nice to see everybody welcoming Jessica to the tribe. Nice one, Jessica. Oh, Victoria. Oh, Jessica and Victoria. I don't know. Maybe both. I can't keep up, but anyone who signed up for a trial tonight, thanks so much for joining us, and do I can't wait to catch up with you on a live call soon. Do come and join us on one of our live calls that we do. This week we've actually got a podcast dropping on Thursday, but I have got a bonus live call tomorrow that I want to talk about now, actually, just quickly. Let's have a look what else is going down in the chat here, just in case I've missed something on that. And then, okay, right, we'll look at that. Olivia, we'll look at that hiring preferences in a second. I think, so you're saying it's to do with when breakdowns go out underneath the production location, it'll go production dates, production location, and hiring preference. So I think what that'll be will be things like if someone, they might put sometimes like full UK driving license. That could be a hiring preference. We need this person to drive. It could be that they, I don't know, have to. I've seen some stuff that a member brought up to me last week where certain productions are asking people if they're American actors, whether they're in the Screen Actors Guild or not, because that will dictate sometimes. I think people are a bit nervous at the moment with all the strikes going on in America, the writer strikes, the SAG writer strikes, and people are saying maybe the actors are going to go on strike. So no one at the moment, like, I think people are nervous of hiring SAG actors in case halfway through the production they go, well, I'm not retiring. What's the word? I'm striking. I'm out. See you later. So the hiring preferences will just be that. It will just be specific things that they want. Like sometimes I imagine back when we were all locked down, there'd have been like, fully vaccinated people as a hiring preference, and that sort of stuff. That's what that looks like. Definitely. Photo says, love this site, really helping me out in transition from Australia to the UK. Love it. I've never been to Australia. I want to go. So, yeah, not tomorrow, Wednesday night. Okay, I've got a bit of a bonus session. This is going to be open to the public because I'm trying to help an actress out and a producer get the word out about what I think is a fantastic show that's going to Edinburgh this year, and he's going to have some previews in Liverpool on the 13th and 15th of July. So there's an actress who I met years and years and years ago. If we go over to the internet again here, go over to the website. I met years ago called Natasha Ray. You see her there on the right-hand side. I met her in an acting class in Manchester called Act for TV, an acting class still to this day I would highly recommend for people wanting to work in screen acting. It's cheap, it's accessible, it's run by fantastic people, and it is not a con or a rip-off like a lot in this industry. So Act 4, the number 4 TV, is where I met Tash. And I didn't know, but Tash has suffered like most of her adult life, basically, with bipolar. She's very self-deprecating and sort of like humorous about it, doesn't take it all too seriously, even though it is a real struggle in her life at times. It's something that she lives with daily. And a few years ago, she met an incredible guy, a producer, exec producer, and now head of a production company called Tom Sherry. Tom was actually the head of the BBC drama department, head of BBC Drama North for years. He worked for Red Production Company. He exec produced some of the biggest dramas in the UK to ever like hit the screen. And Tom met Natasha and was like, Natasha, you should put this, because he's all about storytelling, you should put this experience, into something else, like like write about it in a book, write a play, maybe it could be a screenplay, a TV show at some point. And Natasha wrote a book called Me, Myself and Bipolar Brenda, and it got rave reviews, hilarious, touching, sort of like just brutal reality of living with bipolar. And now she's turned it into a one-woman show, which is already, she's previewed it a couple of times. It's had absolutely rave reviews. And Tom phoned me, because I know Tom from his days at the BBC, and was like, could we do a Zoom call where, obviously we promote the show, but we just talk really openly and honestly about turning your adversity, all the shit going on in your life that like is hard, turning it to your advantage when it comes to your acting career or your writing career. And on Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m, this is going to be open to everybody. I'm going to put the Zoom link for this all over, and it'd mean the world if you could just share it with all your friends and stuff. But we're going to jump on a closed off Zoom call, but it'll be publicly available, with Natasha and Tom, just talking about how Tash has created this show, how she turned her experience into a book, how she still deals with bipolar today while rehearsing for this show. I jumped on a Zoom call with her and Tom the other day, and it had been a pretty rough week for Tash, but she's just a brilliant person. She's so likable, she's really funny, but obviously just deals with quite a lot. The preview nights for Edinburgh, if anyone is up north, are at the Hope Street Theatre, 12th and 15th of July. So that's like when will that be? Like next Wednesday and Saturday or something like that. You can get tickets if you go to ticketquarter.co.uk. Just search for A Night with Me, Myself and Bipolar Brenda. I'm going to try and go if I can. I'm definitely going to try and get a couple of tickets and go down. So we might have a little like act on this unofficial night out at the theatre at some point, on one of those dates. I don't know which of the nights I'll be able to get there yet. But that's happening, I keep saying tomorrow, Wednesday. So that will be Wednesday, the 5th of July. We're going to do that Zoom call for everybody. I will record it as well, and I'll send that out to members of Acts on This as well as a little exclusive if you can't make it live. But please join us live. I just really want to support Tom and Tash. And Tom now is one of the heads of a company called Headline Pictures, and again, it's a huge production company in the UK, making some of the biggest TV in the business. And Tom is an incredible guy to know, so you should join that session just to see what Tom's about as well as Tash, because Tom, like I say, he was head of the BBC drama department in the North for about 4 years, I think. So he commissioned a shitload of big dramas and worked on a lot of big dramas. So again, just another contact that I want to introduce you guys to, because this whole industry, your whole career is predicated on the quality of your relationships. If you can meet people like Tom, add value to their lives, then that's only good for just for your life and your career, basically, just meeting quality people. So that's going on Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. So that was the next thing that I wanted to talk about. What else do I want to talk about? I've still got loads to talk about, really. This Thursday, should we play this out? In fact, let me go back into the comments, and then I'm going to show you what's coming for members of ActsOnThis.tv this Thursday as well. It's a jam-packed week this week. I'm dropping a podcast for you guys on Thursday, so I'll play the preview out for that in a second. But let's just see if there's any questions. If you've got any questions, I'm here to answer anything as well tonight, folks. We can go off on little tangents, anything that I can help you guys with in your acting career. Please shout up. Sharon says, we're just waiting for a call about our crowdfunding for our latest feature film. Nice one, Sharon. What's that? I can't keep up with how many films you're making. But I hope the crowdfunding is going well. Indy's just had a self-tape request today. Good luck with that, Indy. That's amazing. Fingers crossed for that, mate. A lot of members. I've had a lot of emails off people today and tweets from people, going to auditions and stuff today. It seems like a busy time, but it's never quiet, is it? I always say that. People always want to say, "Oh, it's just quiet, isn't it?" And they want to complain, but it's not. There's work out there if you want to you want to, you know, discover it. There really, really is. You know, if you're just going to leave it for someone else to come and save you, that's not going to happen. But there is work out there, definitely. Alex said, would anyone want to do an Instagram live script reading with me at some point? So what do you mean, Alex? As in like almost like a little performance. So you go live on Instagram with another person, and you both, you know, read a script for everyone else to watch and listen into. That's really cool. Yeah, almost sort of like a rehearsed reading, isn't it, I guess? Let him know in the comments. Alex Hewitt, great member of Acts on This, been around a long time. Yeah, drop Alex a reply if you want to get involved in that. So yeah, this Thursday. So it's not a live broadcast week officially, bar that one on Wednesday night for members of actsonthis.tv, but it is a podcast week where we are going to drop the latest episode of something called Table Talk, and that's where me and producer Petch sit down, and it's Petch's job as community manager for actsonthis.tv to collate basically all of your issues and problems, all of the emails that we both get, over a quarter, from members of actsonthis.tv. We always keep it anonymous, but all the problems that come up, little issues, things that we're seeing, trends in the industry, stuff we think you should know about as well, all of that stuff Petch collates into a list, and we sit down in my kitchen for 2 hours and we just chew the fat on all of it, hopefully to give you guys value and clarity on everything that's going on right now, and also to cut through a lot of the bullshit and all of the nonsense that actors want to complain about in this industry. Not just actors, but other people that are completely, like, the stuff that people complain about is just pointless. It's absolutely pointless. There's no point in complaining about how you wish it was. You know, all you can do is control the controllables, you know, controls to the end of your fingertips, and basically just make sure that your output is high, that you are doing things for your career, you know. And of course we can change things and we can ask for things in the industry, but on a whole, I think the industry is in a really good place. There's not a lot of stuff in the industry that I would complain about right now, and yet I saw this Variety article that I've mentioned on numerous lives now that was saying that self-tapes are treating actors with disdain, and I'm like, it's just bullshit. It's just written by someone who's hurt, you know, who wants to blame something for their career not going the way they want to go, and they don't want to blame themselves. Self-tapes are not the reason you're not working. Self-tapes are an incredible reason why lots of us are working. I just landed a job for BBC Three off a self-tape. You know, that paid really well. Like, me and Petch went over to Ireland. We got like just over $3,000 each for that job. It was a 10-minute self-tape, and 1 day's work in Ireland. That was a 3-day trip, all expenses paid, and was lovely. That was off a self-tape. So how can self-tapes be treating us with disdain? Makes no sense at all. So we chew the fat on it all. You'll hear us mention that article in that podcast that's dropping Thursday. But this is going to be in your members area at 10 a.m. Thursday morning, folks. There's a little preview. Petch, welcome back to the kitchen for July 2023 Table Talk. Let's chat. You collate all of the issues that come up for members of actsonthis.tv.
Yeah.
In our community, emails you get sent, emails I get sent, topics of discussion, hot topics, controversial topics.
We're back from Ireland. We've both filmed on a BBC Three comedy horror called Wreck, Season 2. Waiting for the driver to take us back. And I was looking at my phone, and you looked over at me and were like, Petch, what's wrong? Ross, I'm just reading this article on Variety. Have you seen it?
Oh, this is the... Oh, good segue, Petch. This is the self-tape article on Variety. It's not self-tapes that are the problem. You're hurt. Something else in your life is hurting you to the point where you want to blame the lack of success you're having in your career on other things that are not you.
A bad agent versus having no agent at all. Like...
No agent at all is better.
Why?
Because you can be lulled into the false sense of security that, well, at least I have an agent, so I'll do less. Chris Stone, I wonder what he wants. This is a little turn up for the books. What do you want every actor to know listening to this, Chris? Put you on the spot.
To sign up for Acts on This, but if you already listened to this, you probably already have.
Yeah.
How important is it for actors now to learn the technology side?
Watch YouTube videos, learn how to do stuff, and like, you will just become way more dangerous in your career. You'll become way less reliant on other people. You'll save money in the long run. It's my mum ringing now. I can't keep taking these calls.
They can't hear me, can they?
Yeah, they can. They can hear you. Yeah, it's fine. Listen to it.
Listen, folks, I humbly apologise. I'm going now, so have a good night and bye for now.
It's the number one thing that screws actors up the most, is they can't pursue their career because they have no money. And they can't earn the money because they don't know how to pursue their career.
AI.
AI, love it. Petch asked ChatGPT, what's the one thing every actor should know? Okay, this is interesting. It says every actor should know. Oh, it's all going off. Not only does my mum ring me mid-podcast. Did you hear her? She's hilarious. They can't hear me, can they? Yes, mum, they can hear you. She's amazing. She's absolute mad as a bag of frogs. Chris Stone, show reel producer, phoned me during that podcast. And if you want to find out what ChatGPT thinks every actor in the industry should know, listen to that podcast. Please drop me your feedback on that at Act on This TV once you've listened to it on Thursday. If you're watching on the replay, maybe it's already Thursday and that podcast is out in your members area, do watch it or listen to it. You get the audio and the video version. Would love to know your thoughts. We do talk a lot about lots and lots and lots of different things. I love doing table talk. Just because it's, it's super relevant in terms of what's going on now in the industry. Like I say, plus you get to hear a little bit from my mum. And did you hear her say bye for now at the end? I love it. I actually got the catchphrase bye for now off my mum because for years that's what she used to say at the end of every phone call. And I used to say it taking the mick out of it. Now it's become Act on This's catchphrase. Bananas. Right, let's have a look. Alex, there's loads of people up for doing your rehearsed reading on Instagram, mate. And if you do that, let us know when it is and we'll all tune in and stuff like that. Do you know what? I should go live on Instagram way more than I do. That's if you're here now, which social media platform do you use the most? I mean, I use Twitter because I feel Twitter is where our industry hangs out the most. But maybe a lot of people here use Instagram instead, and I should go live on Instagram a lot more so that I can sort of give more value over there. What do you use the most, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok? And I don't mean for, doom scrolling and just scrolling through stuff yourself. I mean, like for your acting career, which one do you use the most? Which one do you find is the most useful? I would love to know that. Twitter and Instagram. It says Alex, Instagram for Rach. All right, Tony Rossi, he's just joined the stream all the way from... are you in Chicago, Tony? Where are you in the world right now? I don't know, but I hope you're well, mate. I hope all the marathon running and acting stuff you're doing over there is good. Imogen says she loves the fact that my mum called during that podcast. That's funny, isn't it? It's crazy. She's off her head, bless her. She's amazing though. She's having problems with her eye at the moment. Got to take her to the hospital on Thursday. It's not great, but she's very good at being optimistic. That's where I get it from. Facebook seems to be dying off, says Alex. Yeah, I mean Facebook. I mean basically we're just Facebook groups, isn't it? That's the big the big draw to Facebook. If you're not part of the Acts on This Facebook group, come and join it. Facebook.com/Act on This TV. Oh no, groups /groups /Acts on This TV. Come and join the Facebook group. There's over 10, I think nearly 10,000 actors actually in that group. So yeah, come and join that. Definitely. Faye says Insta for acting stuff. Twitter says Vanessa, but Instagram for normal stuff. Instagram says Jess needs to grow her Twitter. Jess, if you want to know who to follow on Twitter, if you go to actonthis.tv /Twitter, I'll just show you this dead quick. Let's have a look. /Twitter. There's a little form to fill in, and once you fill in the form, you'll get a link to this list. This is, in my opinion, there's a 57 random number in it, but this was just the main people I think people should be following on Twitter. 57 casting directors, casting assistants, and casting associates that I think everybody should be following on Twitter. It's got their pictures, their names, what they're known for casting, and then it's got like a little button underneath. You literally just click this, takes you over to Twitter, and you can just follow. You just click follow, and it'll just follow that person for you. I think it's even faster if you're on mobile. So literally within 10 minutes, you can be following, the best people in the industry, and these might be people who you don't know of yet. And it is your job. It's absolutely your job to know who all of these people are. We might even add some more people to that, but they're just the most active casting directors, casting assistants, and casting associates on Twitter. So actonthis.tv /Twitter, and that'll just give your Twitter your Twitter a little boost, Jess. So at least you'll have relevant people on your timeline. Josh says he uses Twitter the most, Instagram for personal stuff, but do upload a lot of work on Instagram. Instagram and TikTok for Georgie, Insta for Frankie. So Insta's popular, man, isn't it? I need to do some more stuff on Insta. I should be doing more stuff on Instagram, definitely. Tony says, I was under the impression that most actors are on Instagram, but perhaps that's just the US. Yeah, I think that the Instagram's much more US heavy for the industry. Our industry, in terms of casting directors, writers, producers, directors, all use Twitter for work, so they're all on there posting casting briefs, communicating with each other, communicating with actors. Because it's like one long stream, and ultimately Twitter is just like a conversation, isn't it? It's like it's a cocktail party that's just going on at all times, and you can join the conversation whenever you like. It's a lot easier to get involved in conversations between lots of people on Twitter, whereas Instagram, you've got to go to someone's profile, and it's almost a conversation you'll have just with them, as opposed to where everybody can join in on Twitter. But yeah, Twitter is very, very powerful for the UK acting industry by a huge margin compared to Instagram. In terms of Instagram's great for showing your work off to other people and creating an audience for yourself. Plus, there are casting directors on there, and they have profiles where they will show the work that they're doing. But I just think the access you get to individuals and to join conversations with multiple industry people on Twitter is unprecedented. So, yeah, definitely use Twitter if you're not using it already. But Instagram is popular. I'm definitely going to need to do some Instagram lives, aren't I? Without a doubt. We're trying to up our TikTok game at Act on This. I've got so many TikToks prepared. I just haven't posted hardly any. I really need to sort myself out when it comes to that. Definitely. Matthew says he uses all of them to put out content, but TikTok's where he goes to get the most reach. I found that as well. I can put TikToks out that get a few thousand views, whereas, if I put something out on Instagram, unless I pay to advertise for it, it's only getting like 300 views or something like that, just organic sort of reach. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Let's have a look. Kerry loves Facebook for the group scenario. Yeah, Facebook groups are super powerful. And Mark Zuckerberg's clearly focusing on groups because they're getting more and more functionality. As a group admin, I've got access early to some tools that I've not implemented yet, but it shows that they're definitely, keen on making Facebook groups like, a real core component of Facebook. Definitely. Jessica's already following all those people on Twitter after using the list. Amazing, Jess. Maya uses Instagram as well. Kerry's using the Twitter list that we just put up there as well. It's the most useful scroll through in the morning versus doom scroll. Yeah, just seeing what's going on in the industry. You can create lists on Twitter as well, guys, which is really useful. So it means you can put people into lists. So you could just create a list for the TV industry, put all of the people who you follow in the TV industry into that list. And if you don't want to have all of their tweets mixed up with all of your mates posting pictures of their lattes and their dinner or whatever, then it just means you can have like a filtered feed where it's just industry stuff. So while you're cleaning your teeth in the morning, have a scroll through that, 5 minutes, and you're caught up on what's going on in the industry all the time. Alex says Clubhouse died off, didn't it? Didn't it just? I thought Clubhouse was going to change the game. And then Twitter introduced Twitter Spaces, which was basically just Clubhouse. And Clubhouse died. That's what happened with Snapchat. Snapchat was massive. Then Instagram created Instagram Stories, which was effectively what Snapchat was. And then Snapchat didn't innovate fast enough. And in the UK is practically dead anyway. I think it's still relatively popular in the States. But yeah, Snapchat's over. Game over for Snapchat. Right, we have got... Bloody hell, it's going quick. We've got 14 minutes left. So recap for people who are joining now. Put some questions in the chat. Let's do the last 10 minutes of the stream. Let's just do Q&A. Anything you've got a question on, acting career-wise, let me try and help you with it tonight. Put it in the chat. But just to recap, for people who are just joining now. So if you want to jump on a free training, if you're looking for your first TV role, and maybe you're just like, you don't know where to focus, you've been trying everything, and you're getting nowhere. I am running a free training. I only do this once a year. On the 29th of July. If you go to actonthis.tv/training, you will see this page here. Just pop your name and email address in there, and it will automatically send you a Zoom link literally right now. Keep that Zoom link safe. That's going to be the Zoom link you use to join this session on the morning of Saturday, the 29th of July. It's going to be roughly an hour and a half. It's going to be content heavy. I'm going to be walking you ultimately through a blueprint of how I've landed practically every single TV job I've ever landed, to be honest with you. 90% of the TV jobs anyway. And like I say, I've got 3 in the last 4 weeks. Really decent jobs as well. So I'm going to be running that, Saturday, 29th of July. And then at the end of that session, I'm going to be opening up registration for just 100 actors to, have I still got it open? Yes. To a super in-depth program that ultimately is me coaching you for an entire 12 months on how to land your first TV role. I'm going to be opening that at the end of that free training. It's called First TV Role Fast Track. It's the only online course proven to help you land your first TV role fast. Dozens of actors have landed their first TV role now through going through that program, who came to the program with nothing. I'll play a video out in a minute, actually, of a few testimonials to end tonight. But if you go to actsonthis.tv/first, FIRST, you can get on the waiting list for the full program as well. So training/training, actsonthis.tv/training to get the free training, actsonthis.tv/first to be the first person to jump on that waiting list, because when I open the doors to that, it normally sells out quite quick. It'll be interesting this year because obviously, I get it, we're in a bit of a unprecedented time, isn't it, when it comes to sort of income and resources. It's not a cheap program because it's a 12-month commitment. It's literally a year's worth of coaching, and it's got 5 weeks of live coaching, about 28 hours of pre-recorded coaching, 12 months of support, hundreds of pounds of the bonuses as well. There will be payment plans available, but the program, last time I launched it, just for transparency, because I'm totally upfront with pricing, the last time that I launched this program last year, it was £747. It was supposed to be 997 quid this year. That was the final price that it would ever be. But I think because of the way the world is right now, I'm not going to put the price up. I just think it's the right thing to do. I can't put the price lower because 100 people last year paid full price for it at 747. So I can't make it lower than 747. It will be 747. But I will probably make a slightly longer payment plan. I allowed people to pay in 3 installments last year. I might do 6 this year. I just want to try and make it easier for people. I get it. It's, I feel it as well. It's harder for me. Everything has gone up in my life and the business as well, and revenue has gone down. So yeah, I will make it as accessible as possible. But just to give people a heads up, join the free training anyway. If you're like, listen, that's just so out of my reach, the free training, join that. actsonthis.tv/training is still going to be super valuable for you. But if you literally want 12 months worth of handholding plus, so much coaching, a blueprint that's just going to help you get what you want, it's well worth it. If you land one TV job, again, I'll be transparent with money. So I had 3 TV jobs over the last 4 weeks. One of them, these were all one scene jobs as well. So these were not big jobs. These were one scene in a TV show. The first one was for a BBC 3 show called Wreck, and that was 3,000 quid. The second one was for an ITV show called After the Flood, and that was just over 2 grand. It wasn't. That was 3,000. And then the one that I just did for Fool Me Once was 2,000. So that's £7,000 in 3 small jobs. So just to be transparent with you, that's why the program is 747 quid. If you land one job, you'll double your money, or you'll at least on the tiniest job of one line on Coronation Street, you will get your money back. So yeah, I'm super upfront about finances and money and all that sort of stuff. I think anyone in this industry, like I said at the start, who isn't, be wary of them. If they're not putting prices on programs that they're advertising or workshops that they're advertising, it's just dodgy. Something not right there. But yeah, that's exciting. That's happening at the end of this month. Wednesday night, don't forget, we're doing this live Zoom call with Tom Sherry, used to be head of the BBC drama department, and a great actress called Natasha Ray, talking about her journey, turning her experience of bipolar into a one-woman show that's going to be taking Edinburgh by storm this year. I'm going to be doing a live Zoom call free of charge for everybody this Wednesday night. If you want to get a link for that, by the way, because the link's not out yet, if you go to actsonthis.tv/subscribe, that'll get you on the email list. Just make sure you're on the email list. If you're not a member and you're not bothered about becoming a member, which is a mistake, I think you should be a member, but just go to actsonthis.tv/ I think it's subscribe. Let me just check. It should be at the bottom here. actsonthis.tv/subscribe. There it is. Just get on the email list, and I'll be sending everybody a free link to that Zoom session on Wednesday night. I want to get as many people on it as possible. It'll just be a fascinating chat about turning all the adversity in your life into advantage and using it for your acting career. So that's going on. The replay of Debbie Howard's live Zoom call from last week for all members of actsonthis.tv. She's the director for Emmerdale and Coronation Street, is in your members area right now. So that's kind of like recapping on everything. But let's just do 10 minutes of Q&A before we wrap it up tonight. Let me see what we've got going down. Let's see if I can help you with anything. Oh, come on, laptop. It wouldn't let me. Sometimes it takes my mouse from a laptop to my main computer here. It's just weird. Let's have a look. Georgie says, I filmed a TV job back in September, and it's not due out till sometime this summer, but I've been writing like crazy to try and build up the hype around it. Oh, is that an answer to somebody else? That's an answer to somebody else's question. Let's have a look. So Luke says, for the first time, I have a question. I recently filmed an episode of Doctors. Yes, Luke, good work. However, won't get any footage till the end of November. I'd like to contact casting directors off the back of it somehow before the end, before I get the footage. What would your advice be? Right, Luke, we cover this. We cover this a lot. You've got 3 brilliant opportunities now to reach out to casting directors or agents, anyone in this industry at all. So the first one is now that you've wrapped. Okay, so right now, you know, regardless of what the size of that role was, you know, you might have had 2 lines, I don't know, but your character's called David, right? Doctors are really good at giving even small roles names, real names. You'll probably never be copper number 1 in Doctors. You will have a name. So for all I know, David, if it was 2 lines, right now, until it's out, could have been the lead storyline in that episode, right? It could be the best thing Doctor's ever seen, right? So don't apologise regardless of the size of the role. You want to be reaching out to casting directors now saying, hey, Daniel Edwards, for example. Hey, Daniel, listen to your podcast, recent podcast announced on this.tv. Loved it. Wanted to reach out because I've just wrapped on Doctors now. I play David. He's don't need to go into much more depth than that. You know, absolutely loved it. Obviously looking for my next role now. Wanted to drop my show reel through. My casting type is, whatever your casting type is. Would love to be considered for, you know, whatever you've got going on right now. Quite brief, you know, and simple email. So that's number 1. You've got that opportunity now because it's like, you know, you're hot property. I've just been working on TV. I'm on a roll. I want to get the next job. That's great reason to reach out. Then the week of Doctors, you might get your TX date. You're going to get a letter from Doctors. Every time I've done Doctors, you get a letter saying the transmission date. People call it a TX date. Your TX date is going to be, I don't know, November the 1st, 2023. So you go, okay, right, end of October. You know, the week of that, say it's out on a Wednesday, Monday, you want to write to, or even Tuesday. I do it on the Tuesday, actually, the day before. Write to all those casting directors again, saying, hey, you know, just checking in with you. Know you're super busy, you know, but, you know, if you've got a telly in the office, I'm going to be on Doctors tomorrow at 2:30, whenever Doctors comes out. You know, I play this character, David, would massively appreciate, you know, you tuning in. Just a couple of scenes, but means the world to me, you know, was one of my first jobs or whatever. You know, here's a link to my spotlight for my other work. You know, if you think I'd be right for anything you're casting right now, would love to tape for it or audition for it. So that's the second outreach that you do. Then, literally, 1st of November, whenever that thing actually airs, you get that footage quick. So you get that footage and you add it into your show reel. And then about, I don't know, a week after, 2 weeks after, it doesn't really matter, as long as it's, you know, relatively recent, you email everybody one more time saying, dropped you an email a couple of weeks ago, was just recently on Doctors. I know you're super busy, so not sure if you had a chance to watch it, but I've now added it onto my reel. Here it is, you know, super chuffed. I hope you like it. Have an amazing week, whatever. So that's the 3 touch points you've now got off one job. And you should do that with every single job because it's a great reason to reach out. It's highly relevant. You know, it keeps you very current. You're a working actor now. That's very attractive to casting directors. And you know, that's sort of like squeezing every little last bit of juice out of each show. So I hope that helps, Luke, but good luck, man. And that's wicked that you've got that. Jessica says, any tips for overcoming burnout, day jobs, watching acts on this, sending targeted emails, staying active on social, general life, gym, etc.? Yeah, I feel it, Jess. Honestly, this is something that I really, really felt like affected my health at the end of 2021 and half of 2022. Before I realised it, like my health was just not in a good place at all because I had gone from recording one podcast every 2 weeks for Acts on This members to over lockdown doing 2 live Zoom calls a week. It was literally like a treadmill of work. I was doing 8, sometimes like 17, 18-hour days. I was getting 6 hours of sleep a night. I was going to bed at 1 o'clock. I was getting up at 7. I was going to the gym. I was coming home and I was staying in front of the computer until 1 o'clock the next morning. And I don't know if it was coincidence. I'd had the vaccine booster as well. And all this left side of my body started swelling up. My lymph nodes were going crazy. I had to go and have ultrasounds. They couldn't find anything wrong, but I was just in a mess. And one of the keys for me was, first of all, was prioritize sleep. So stop trying to get by on 6 hours of sleep, right? I bought something called an Aura ring, Oura. It's a fantastic ring that you can wear throughout the day, but I just wear it at night for sleep, and it'll track everything to do with your sleep. So it'll track whether your deep sleep, your light sleep, your REM sleep, that's rapid eye movement sleep when you're dreaming normally. It'll track your heart rate, it'll track your temperature. It's really, really clever. It can tell if you're getting ill because your temperature might go up 1 degree. It'll say, hey, listen, you need to sort of like look after yourself. You're getting ill. What else does it do? Yeah, so you've got the heart rate, heart rate variability, which is how sort of like recovered your heart is, which is incredible. No one really knows about that because you can't generally feel it, but it's to do with when you're asleep. The gap between heartbeats, when you're asleep, it should be much slower than obviously when you're awake. It's a bit different to your heart rate, like you just, your actual beats per minute. It's to do with the lengths of the gaps, so they can be different. They can sort of vary. But it'll tell you whether you're recovered or not. And for me, it was just dialing down on that and going, right, what do I need to drop so I can get to bed early, and I can really focus on my sleep. And I started to feel a lot better quite quickly with that. I started drinking, not drinking. I started drinking 2 liters of water a day because I wasn't doing that. You'd be amazed what that does for your energy levels, so you don't feel burnt out. I wasn't quite as reliant on coffee all the time. I looked at my diet and started really looking at what I was fueling my body with. Was my ratios of proteins to carbohydrates to fats actually good, or was I just eating shit because that's, to fit it in quickly because I had work to do. And then I also made sure, still to this day, I'm on about 115-day streaks today, that I got 10,000 steps a day in. And it does mean, Jess, that sometimes some things have got to go. So, staying active on social, you've put there. Sometimes I'm like, look, I'm just not going to I'm going to schedule 5 minutes of social media time today to post something for my career, scroll through, make sure that I'm up to date with stuff, and then I'm leaving it. I'm not going down the rabbit hole, and I've spent 20 minutes, watching cat videos, or I love cat videos on TikTok. Have you seen that cat video where that cat's singing? So he's honestly sounds like he's saying, sometimes I'm alone, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I'm alone, and then he shouts, hello. Little cat is amazing. If I'm not careful, I end up watching stuff like that. So that might have to go. But if you're ultimately sleeping, drinking enough water, fueling your body with good food, and you're getting 10,000 steps a day in, your energy levels will bounce back. So it'll feel like you go, how do I have time to fit all that in? Well, actually, by fitting that in, you're not gonna feel the burnout as much. You're gonna feel more energized. So you'll have more capacity to do that other stuff as well. But just the main thing is prioritize sleep. Go to bed now. Get off this live call. Bed. You'll feel better. But I get it. Burnout's a real thing. Let's see what else we've got here. So for the first TV or fast track program, you said you missed the web address, actonthis.tv/first, FIRST. And you can also get free training by going to actonthis.tv/training. If someone could put those in the chat for me, that'd be amazing. actonthis.tv/training and actonthis.tv/first. That would be cool. Let's have a look. There's a lot of other people just answering stuff here, which is cool. Vanessa says, I recently self-represented now. I've been putting myself self up for castings, but I never know what you should include in that little box for the message for casting directors when you're submitting for stuff. Is there a right thing to say, or do you leave it empty? In most cases, Vanessa, that will be left empty. One thing I would always put in that box is anything that's truly relevant for that role. So if you had an agent, your agent would only be filling that box out if there was something very specific about you that made you more relevant for that role than, by not filling that out. So it might be, for example, lived experience of something the character's going through. So maybe the character, we spoke about bipolar before, I don't know, maybe the character is suffering with some bipolar, and this is something that, as an actor, you actually live with in your real life. That would be something I would put in that box. I'm visually impaired, so if any role ever came up for someone who is visually impaired, I would write that in the box, explain that a little bit. Maybe it could be a skill like skateboarding, horse riding, you're really proficient in that. It could be something to do with singing, playing an instrument. Anything that's in that brief that's like, listen, I have lived experience of this thing. Make what an agent would call a push in that box. So they call that a push, basically, when they want to push a bit harder for a client. If there's something very relevant about them for a role, they will fill that box out with just a few words. It doesn't have to be long. It could be something, again, like, we said before, like UK driving license, if, there's something to do with driving for that role, full clean license or something like that. If it's something to do with filming abroad, you need a passport. You could write, my valid passport, fully vaccinated, whatever, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, don't feel the pressure to actually always fill it in. You don't have to. The main thing that will do the talking when you're submitting yourself is your headshot and your show reel. They're the main things. And if you want to know how to make those as banging as possible, tune into everything that we're doing at atsonthis.tv. We talk about those things in every single session, basically, with every casting director we get on. So yeah, don't worry about filling it in all the time. Let's have a look. Let's see if there's any other questions. I like the way everyone's answering everyone's questions in this chat. It's very productive chat, folks. Appreciate that. Let's have a look. Frankie says, I heard you can make your own showreel using iMovie. Has anyone done that, or do you need a professional? So it depends, Frankie. In terms of editing footage, you can certainly edit footage for free in iMovie. In terms of an actual showreel, there's a big difference between professional showreels and something that you can just knock up on your phone. Self tapes you can do on your phone, and you could technically use those self tapes as a substitute for a showreel right now. But if you really want to know, the keys to your best showreel ever, if you're going to produce a showreel, if you go to atsonthis.tv, I'm not sure if you remember, but I'll show you the preview just in case you're not. But if you remember, the full version of this will be in your members area. We do once a quarter something called showreel surgery. It's this here. So we just did one on the 9th of June, so not even a month ago. We do this every quarter with, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK, a guy called Chris Stone, and we play out examples of people's showreels in this. Chris critiques them. We give out an 8-step formula for the perfect showreel, basically. If you want to save yourself a ton of time and you basically want to make your first showreel, actually applicable to the industry and, it gives you the potential to actually land auditions and work, watch that before you shoot or edit anything. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of hassle getting it wrong. But yeah, iMovie definitely is a free, editing app that you can use to edit footage for sure. Let's have a look. No problem, Luke. He's saying thanks for that. Jenny says, should we be editing showreels ourselves? If you're proficient at editing, you can save yourself a fortune, but it's very tricky because you can't be emotionally attached to the material. As actors, when I used to edit my own showreel, I wanted to keep stuff in that didn't need to be in. I always get Chris to edit my showreel just because he can be objective. He's a filmmaker, he's an incredible storyteller, and he's a fantastic editor. So he will come up with things that, I would not come up with editing my own reel. There's a lot goes into it in terms of editing stuff. It's not just a straightforward, let's cut it here and play the next scene. There's art to cutting show reels where you can have things called L cuts and J cuts, where the audio of the next scene comes in over the the video of the previous scene to sort of tie things together. There are things called thematic cuts where you might have two pieces of footage from totally different projects, but there's a line within one piece that fits perfectly, with another. So for example, Chris always uses this when he was editing someone's show reel and they were talking about bags, like black bags or something, bin bags or something like that. And someone said in one of the scenes, these were two totally different projects. We need bags or something. And then the next scene was from a film where a guy was slamming a bag of cocaine down on the table. So there were two different scenes from two different projects, but that was a thematic cut on the word bag. We now see this bag. It almost takes us through, a story that, wasn't the original story, but there's things to just keep a viewer's attention that you need to know. The start of your show reel, there's very specific things for an intro, for an outro. The end of your reel has to be as strong as the beginning. There's an awful lot goes into it, but again, show reel surgery will walk you through absolutely everything when it comes to that. Let's have a look. People say they love that cat who's singing. It's great, isn't it? Sometimes I'm alone, sometimes I'm not. Absolutely amazing. I love it. But yeah, don't get lost on TikTok. It's not a very productive way to spend your day. Let's have a look. I requested to follow you weeks ago on Insta and Twitter. Who's that? Who are you talking to there, Faye? Somebody. It's not me, is it? Because I don't have requests open. So that must be someone else in the chat. Everyone is loving that. Is loving that cat. Oh, and Nat says for burnout as well, take an iron supplement if you need to. That's something, that people again sort of overlook. Do you know what I started taking? And I'm not ever telling anybody to to just take stuff like check whether it sits right with you. But I started taking a zinc supplement. in the morning for energy, and also something called ashwagandha, which is what's called an adaptogenic. It's the root of a plant that is a cortisol suppressant. Because I was feeling that I was like quite overwhelmed with work, lots of stuff to do. I juggle so much in my life, and it creates cortisol, which is a stress hormone in your body. And what ashwagandha does is it numbs, well, it basically stops your cortisol receptors in your body from absorbing too much cortisol. So it almost, on paper, theoretically, makes it impossible to feel stressed or not as stressed. But I have genuinely found that I don't know if it's a placebo or what, but it's brought my sort of, I don't know, sort of feelings of like, you know, sometimes you feel a bit sort of like nervy, a bit on the edge where it's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do first. I've got this to do, I've got that to do, I've got all these things to do. Ashwagandha, yeah. Google it, look it up, see if it fits right with you. I'm not saying take it because I'm not a doctor, I'm not giving out medical advice. But yeah, ashwagandha. I'm getting along with it. I think it works quite well for me. Martina says thanks for the details for Martin Gibbons, wasn't it, that you asked for? I reached out on Instagram and he came back to me. I knew he would. Yes, great casting director Martin Gibbons. Again, folks, just keep reaching out to people. Honestly, like it's a huge part of your job. It's what this is all about. Right, we have gone over because I just waffled. But thank you so much everybody for being here. I'm going to play some testimonials out now from people who have already taken first TV role fast track and the results that they got. Like I say, if you are an actor looking for your first TV role, or you have less than 5 TV credits on your CV, do get involved in this program if you can. At least come and join the free training. actonthis.tv/training. Join me on the free training on July the 29th. I will be opening the doors to the full first TV role fast track program. After that free training, it is a huge commitment because it's a 12-month commitment. It's a lot of work, but it's the most value-packed program, I just think, in the industry, full stop. Like I say, there's around 28 hours of recorded content, a further 10 hours of live coaching with me, and 12 months, a full year of support and coaching in a private Facebook group just for students on this program. So it's a big commitment from you. Literally, we want your attention for a year, but the payoff could be incredible. Like, you know, if you're struggling to land that first job and you don't really know what you're doing, or you're quite new to the industry, it just means you're going to get everything right first time rather than just wasting potentially years and thousands of pounds doing stuff wrong. So I will be launching that program on the 29th of July as well. I'm just going to end tonight by just playing. I'm sure I've got some testimonials from some people. You'll recognise some faces. Josh, I don't know if you're still here. You're part of the testimonials on here. Lawrence Russell as well. Gay Shepherd's in here. Joe Barker. It's just a brief sort of like little testimonial. And we've got loads more people from the last intake as well who've done testimonials with us recently as well. So lots of people have had success with it. So I'm going to end by playing this tonight. I'll dive into the comments one last time to see if anything exciting's come up. But just thanks so much for being here, folks. Josh is still here. Yes, I like it, Josh. He's here every week. Everyone's saying vitamin D is good as well. Yeah, vitamin D is good. Ashwagandha, everyone's getting on it. It's funny, isn't it? I'm not a doctor. It's just worked for me. One other person that who did start taking it actually, because it can sort of like help with blood pressure and stuff as well. It reduced her blood pressure, but her blood pressure was already low, so she started feeling a little bit sort of a bit faint sometimes. So it probably doesn't work for everybody, but for me, I've got along quite well with it. So yeah. Research it before you take anything. But thanks, folks. Love to you all. You're amazing. Here's some testimonials. And yeah, if you want to get involved in this program, the full program, actonthis.tv/first, FIRST. I can only let 100 people in it this year. The doors close until probably this time next year. You'll be waiting a full year. And by that point, you could have had 2 or 3 TV jobs and earned yourself a few grand. So hopefully, I'll see you on this. But I'll speak to you all later this week. We've got loads going on. Keep an eye on your inbox, and thanks again. Go smash it. Until next time, bye for now.
I came to the acting party quite late, so I was quite naive, didn't know anything about anything really. And I just felt I just needed some direction, and I wasn't getting, you know, I just didn't know where to turn.
I didn't really know how to write to casting directors confidently or effectively, and what I needed to say to be able to sell myself.
I was just thinking, how the hell am I going to get my first TV job?
I came out of university not knowing anything about the TV industry. I came from a theatre background, done theatre all my career, so I was a bit clueless.
I've done 2 TV roles, a commercial and a film.
I got my first TV role. I did Emmerdale.
It led to my first TV role on Coronation Street.
So I've had my first TV job on Emmerdale.
Stop procrastinating like I did for many months, many years, and just do it, give it a go, because I don't think they'd be disappointed. Go
for it. If you're serious about it and you want to make changes to your acting career, then definitely go for it.
I got the money back instantly just by doing one little role in a TV show. So I mean, I can't complain really.
Although it's perhaps scary to sort of take the plunge because maybe it's hard to put yourself out there and risk failure, there's also the other side of it, which is the huge reward that if you do it and put the time in and do the emails, you'll then get the thing you've probably been dreaming about for the last 10 years. So you might as well just do it now.